Dear colleagues, we continue our working day, and now I give the floor to Presidential Administration Spokesman on ATO-related issues, Colonel Andriy Lysenko. Good afternoon, dear colleagues, and now information about events in the ATO area during the last 24 hours. In Lugansk area, the enemy violated ceasefire once. It happened in Shestye. At the same time, according to Chief Intelligence Department of MOD in Lugansk, there was a closed meeting of the commanders from Russian Federation and the representative of LPR military formation. In the course of the meeting, they discussed the broadening of territories that are under control of the militants and in the direction of Stanitsa Luganska and Shestye. And among local residents and the militants who are at the frontline positions in Vesela Gora village, they disseminate information about the plans to intensify military action starting from the 18th of May. The situation deteriorated sharply in the Donetsk area. The enemy delivers shellings along the front line at Svetlodarsk, Balch, Zaitsevo, Avdiivka, and Dolpatna. And yesterday, the enemy launched about 80 mortar mines at our positions. The enemy is active traditionally during the second part of the day and intensifies its shellings in the evening. Near Opatna, the militants tried to penetrate the front line with the use of subversive group that was covered by mortar fire and anti-aircraft fire. And the military action was for 1 hour. On average, there were 18 shellings delivered by the enemy, including 7 mortar shellings. The situation is the same in Mariupol area. There are enemy provocations with the use of heavy weapons along the front line. The enemy delivers fire in free area in Krasnogorivka, Marinka, and Shirokina. And at other areas of frontline, ceasefire continues. On the whole, in Mariupol area, there were 18 shellings delivered by the enemy, including 3 mortar shellings. During the last 24 hours, as a result of the military actions, we lost 1 Ukrainian serviceman and 1 was wounded. It happened in the Donetsk area. Yesterday, the resident of Novgorodska village was blown up on the explosive device and was wounded. The tragedy happened in the day in the yard of the victim. Also in Avdiivka, in the result of mortar fire delivered by the militants, 1 local resident was wounded. This man is now in hospital. And also information about the losses of the enemy. During the last 24 hours, 6 militants were wounded. They were the members of the 3rd Detached Motorized Brigade and also 11th Detached Motorized Regiment of the 1st Army Corps of DPR. And also at Stanitsa Luganska checkpoint, border guards of Ukraine detained a militant. It was identified that the detained belonged to one of the militant groups that are the Don Cossack Host gang. And according to the information of Chief Intelligence Department, an echelon came and it brought 9 railroad tanks with diesel fuel. It came to Makiivka station. Thank you. You have some questions or comments? Please introduce yourself first. Lesya Galavata, 5th channel. Tell us, please, about the situation where our serviceman was killed and 1 more that was wounded. Where did it happen? The wounded was in Zaitsevo and the killed was in Opatna. It happened during the shelling. Do you have other questions or comments? If there are no, thank you, Colonel. Thank you, everyone. This is the end of press conference, and the next event is at 2 p.m.